Good morning, everyone. On today's show, I'm back from break, and I'll tell you a little bit about my day off yesterday and some interesting updates to my status in Street Fighter 6 because I have ordered some replacement parts for my joystick, which may up my game. In addition, we got some game news and a little bit of last-minute hype before tomorrow's big marathon event. All this and more on today's Level 1 podcast. Good morning. How's everyone this lovely Friday? Today is the 28th of July, 2023. If you can believe it, this summer, man, has been turboing by. And I really feel like the reason that the summer has been passing by so fast this year is because we got Street Fighter 6. I think without Street Fighter 6, honestly, this summer might have felt like it was crawling along the ground like a snail or a slug. But because we've had so much excitement with Street Fighter 6 and fighting game gameplay, things have been moving fast, right? Like, it feels like yesterday the game came out. Here we are with only one more month of summer left to go before the very busy fall gaming season. And what a month it's going to be, because I'm celebrating my 15-year anniversary as a creator, which means there's a lot of special things lined up. So how are you all today? I hope that you're all doing well. Today is Friday. It's my day back after having a day off yesterday from streaming. It was a very busy day for me. I had a ton of errands to do yesterday. Driving all around, doing a million things. I've been backed up on a couple of different errands, actually, that I needed to kind of get caught up on. At the same time, I did have a more relaxing day. I'd say the second half of the day with my wife, which was nice. And of course, as usual, on my day off, a bunch of game news happened. So we actually have a bit of news to cover today to get you all caught up on everything going on in the realm of gaming. So we'll have a pretty decently length segment on that coming up. Also, I have my status as to how I did with Blanca the other day. To be honest with all of you, it's actually better than I thought. Like yesterday or 2 days ago, I did a major stream of ranked gameplay with Blanca in Street Fighter 6, trying to get Blanca to Master. Road to Master is what I called it. Now, I knew I wasn't going to hit Master. I was in 4-star Diamond, and I knew that it was going to be an uphill climb because we were in these higher ranks. The matches are going to be tougher, right? And so playing through, my goal for that day was to hit 5-star Diamond. Well, sadly, after having not played Blanca for 9 days, I ended up being so rusty that I was constantly making mistakes, dropping combos left and right. I mean, simple things that are absolutely necessary to even win a match with Blanca at this level. I was dropping constantly and was very frustrating. I was very upset with my performance. And basically, I was very, I was kind of crushed almost. I won't say crushed, but, you know, unlike other Street Fighter sessions with Zangief or Lily recently, where I walked out of those sessions feeling really positive about myself because I'd done so well, and I felt like I was improving. With Blanca, I basically felt like I took a step back, and that's not good. When you're trying to improve your game and hit a ranking level, you know, especially when the other thing is a lot of, I guess you could call them my peers, they're not really, but I guess a lot of my contemporaries who've been playing Street Fighter 6 have hit Master level with at least one character because they've been playing the game pretty much non-stop since it came out, and I haven't. You know, I'm balancing Street Fighter 6 with other games. You know, just in the time that Street Fighter 6 has released, I was playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, Amnesia the Bunker. Okay? That's 4 other games that I've played while playing Street Fighter 6, while most other people playing this game are literally only playing it. Oh yeah, I also just started Grand Theft Auto 5, the anniversary run. Plus, I do a weekly React show. So, my time to play Street Fighter 6, as much as it seems to you guys like, wow, Phil is playing a ton of Street Fighter 6, it's actually not even close to the amount that people who are hitting master rank are actually playing this game. Okay, I'm surprised with as little as I've played. You know, if you take a look at my Blanca performance, for example, okay, and you see that I have played with Blanca a grand total of 12 times since the game came out. A grand total of 12 times. And keep in mind, each time I played with Blanca was not even a 3-hour session. So at most, I've played with Blanca 30, 40 hours tops. If that, actually no, because it was 3-hour sessions, 12 times, it would have been 36. So probably I played with Blanca around 30 hours to get to where I am. That's like so little for someone who's playing a fighting game and that's their main character. To only have used a character, you know, that little is wild, okay? But that's what I mean with fighting games. To get good at them is a huge commitment and a huge time investment. And, you know, I'm struggling. To be very frank with my audience now, I'm struggling staying at a good level with this game while also balancing other content, because I realize that I'm not just a Street Fighter streamer, okay? I'm not a Street Fighter streamer. I'm someone who does variety content. And this is the first time in over a decade that I've sat down to try to play a game seriously and get good at it. And I feel like I'm very proud with what I've done. All right, I am. But at the same time, it's rough when you see people saying, well, this person hit master, this person hit master, this person hit master. Why didn't you hit master yet? And it's like, because I'm not playing. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, I've played with Blanca twice. Out of the 8 weeks the game's been out, I played my main character twice in the last 2 weeks, you see? So that's why. When I play this game, people want variety, right? They don't just want Blanca all day. They say, hey, Phil, will you try out Rashid, the new character? Hey, ever going to try Luke? Why didn't you ever use Ken? What about Cammy? What about Jury? What about... I've already used 12 characters out of the 19. 12 characters out of the 19, you know? And also keep in mind that I've instituted community nights now. So those are nights where I'm just doing random gameplay with random characters. Not necessarily high-level gameplay, but still it's a little bit of practice, which is great. But at the same time, that's not serious ranked gameplay. That's another stream taken away from any efforts to get concretely better at Street Fighter 6. So, you know, it's frustrating to me because I feel like I'm doing as much as I can to get good with the game without making my audience bored. And I hope that that's the case. You know, I really do. But I'll be honest with you. You ready for this? That batch of Blanca gameplay that I just did the other day, there's a video on it that doesn't even have 300 views. So, have I hit the wall with Street Fighter 6 coverage? Is it that now, the people who are interested, it's 2 months in, they just don't care anymore? They don't want to see Street Fighter 6 anymore? The streams do well, by the way. The streams get good attendance, and the streams, for the most part, get decent support. Some streams more than others. Some streams get insane support, and some get decent support. We've yet to had a bad support Street Fighter 6 stream. That's obviously a good thing. Right now, Street Fighter 6 is the thing that's a staple of support. Because what's funny is you look at another game like, oh, GTA 5. Everyone says the playthrough's great. Yeah, and I'm not kidding. The streams are absolutely dead for support. I'm getting like, no, I'm not even hitting halfway to a tip skull. I'm barely getting no memberships whatsoever. During the game that everyone wants to see the most. You know what I mean? So, that's the thing. Like, you gotta, it's hard to judge right now what to do. You know, the good news is we are coming up on my anniversary month. And with this month coming up, I'm hoping with some of the special events and things that I have planned, that will maybe get some reinvigoration. For those who didn't care so much about Street Fighter, maybe they'll come back a little bit. And of course, September will be fine. September, we've got so many new games. Starfield, Mortal Kombat 1, just to name the first 2. We got so many new games coming out in September. I have zero worries about September coming up. But we got another month to get through. And right now, it's actually hard for me to decide what direction I want to go in, all right? So to give you my perspective, it's like, well, I can try to do more variety. I can focus more in on trying to get to maybe making GTA 5 a main daytime stream and maybe mixing in some anniversary retro stuff there. But there's no guarantee anyone's going to support that stuff because right now, it's not. Right now, it's literally not getting support. GTA 5 has great views And that's it. That's literally it. Okay? Sorry, you know, I have to balance everything. I have to balance business with pleasure. Am I enjoying GTA 5? Yes, I am. But it's not just about me enjoying it. It's about also it being something that people will support because they want to see more content of it. And right now, that's not happening. Okay? Street Fighter 6 is getting support. That's good. But now, what direction do I go with Street Fighter 6? Do I focus only on Blanca and trying to get Blanca to rank to a higher ranked level? Do you want to see me push to get Blanca to master level? If that's the case, then no new characters will be played. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only that, but I also won't be focusing on the characters like, for example, Geef, Lily, Luke, Rashid. These characters that I've done really well with, they're going to have to go on hold too, right? And then maybe once I hit master with Blanca, then I swap over and I do something different, right? Or do I keep doing what I'm doing the variety, which does seem to appease some people. But if I do the variety, then, you know, I'm never going to hit, I'll be honest, I don't think I'll ever hit master, if that's the case, you know? As I've explained previously, the vast majority of people who are playing Street Fighter 6 seriously, and what I mean by that when I say it, I'm not saying that everyone who's playing the game and is intending to be a pro player. I'm just saying people that are playing the game and enjoying it to the level where they want to actively make progress in ranked, they're not doing what I'm doing. They have not played with 12 different characters. They've basically took a small handful of characters, okay? A very small handful. Probably, I would say, tops, these people probably played with maybe 3 or 4 characters, if that. All right? And basically just kind of focused in on them, figured out the 1 or 2 that they liked more, and then said, okay, we'll focus on those and just get them to the level we want and just play with them nonstop. You know, a lot of these people did marathons of it too. Justin Wong, on release day of Rashid, did a crazy-ass long marathon and played with the character and got to master ranking in one sitting because he played for an insanely long time without, you know, breaking it up or whatever. That's what I'm doing, right? And others, you know, the push to master meant that for 5 days straight, they just fucking played the character. That's all they did, right? For me, I haven't played Blanca in 9 days, you know? Now here I go, going back to Blanca. Now I'm rusty, right? So right now I really don't know what to do. I would love to hear your feedback. I really would. Here's the feedback I need. How do you want me to continue to cover Street Fighter 6? Do you want it to be just Blanca to get him to master, or do you want to continue to see the variety? If you want variety, I'll likely go back and alternate between Zangief, Lily, Luke, and Rashid. And I'll probably play those 4 characters plus Blanca and try to get everyone progressively leveling up at once. At this point, I'll be honest, I don't feel like playing any new characters. I don't. I feel like if I keep fucking playing new characters, I'm never going to hang in this game anymore. So I need to just focus in on characters I've used and I want to learn better tech with and I want to improve. I've already played with 12 out of 19. That's enough. I don't need to play the other 7. You know, I don't need to use every character in the game. I'm not saying I never will. I'm just saying, hey, this is how it's turned out. We're 2 months into the game. It's time to actually kind of hunker down here and decide if I'm ever going to play it at a higher level or not, right? So that's the question. Do you want Blanca or do you want a variety of characters? Or do you think that Street Fighter 6 has been too much of a focus and you want less? That's fine, but understand that if I'm playing things other than Street Fighter 6, then I need those to be supported. Because right now, Street Fighter 6 are absolutely the streams that are most consistently supported. Every time. There's high attendance, high engagement, and a good amount of support, whether it may be members or super chats or tips or everything. Everything's good. And that's how I make my living. You know, and as much as I just said, okay, so the Blanca videos from the other day, 2 days ago, one of them doesn't even have 300 views. That's true, but the stream did good. So it didn't really matter. In fact, the stream did very well, and then the night stream, which was GTA 5, did terribly. When it comes to support, I should say. So that's why that day ended up being pretty good, because the Street Fighter stream did so well. So right now, it really is the Street Fighter streams that are like, you know, carrying everything, okay? So I guess the question is, again, what do you want? I want to hear all of your feedback, and I want to absorb your feedback on this. I want to hear your takes. Why is it that you think Street Fighter 6 is still getting the level of support that it's getting? How would you like to see me continue to cover Street Fighter 6? Why do you think, and this is a really solid question that I would really love feedback on, with the amount of views and engagement that I am getting on Grand Theft Auto 5 right now. I've played it 6 hours, and these are the most viewed videos I've had in like a month, okay? Why are the streams so dead? Not attendance-wise, but I mean, overall support. And this is really weird to me, and here's why. My philosophy since I became an interactive streamer in 2017 has been thus. If I'm playing a game people are enjoying and I'm enjoying, if it's a positive vibe around the stream, if attendance is good and everyone's having a good time, then I don't need to worry about support and contributions because they're just going to come. And for the most part, that has been absolutely true. Almost 100% of the time, that's been the case. Except with GTA 5. For this 6 hours that I played it, it's been slow. And I just don't get it, you know? So I need feedback on that. What's going on with that? Is there a way to change that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you let me know. I really want your genuine feedback, all right? So please let me know, because the thing is, I don't want to talk about this kind of shit all day. I don't. I just want to enjoy what I'm doing, but I want to make sure I'm doing what's in line with what you're expecting, what you want, what you're finding more entertaining, okay? I need to know all of these things. I need to know your feedback. So please give me your feedback, okay? Very, very welcomed right now. Any honest feedback, constructive feedback, by the way. Not trollish dumb fucks like, you don't deserve $1. Fuck you, you piece of shit. Yeah, you can just take that feedback. You can shove it up your dumb ass. I want real feedback from people who care about the content and want to see everything here improve and continue. You know, that's the kind of feedback I'm looking for, okay? Okay. So, that being said, and by the way, I already see morons. I'm just going to get rid of them now. A bunch of trolls, as usual, right? Okay. So, let's talk, all right? So, what's going on, first of all? After my Blanca performance the other day, which, honestly, I was disappointed with, I actually have the stats of how it went, and it went better than I thought, all right? So, I told you guys, when we were playing with Blanca the other day, this was my first session of what I was calling the Road to Master. This was a ranked session on all 4-star diamond matches, and I thought I had lost way more than I had won. I literally thought, dude, I blew it. What a you know, you ought to say 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. I felt like it was like 1 step forward, 10 steps back. That's what it felt like to me. And I was actually feeling depressed and deflated after the stream ended because I was like, dude, I really blew it. This is my opportunity to gain momentum to hit master, and look at this terrible session I had. In reality, here's how I did. 42 wins and 38 losses, 53% win-loss ratio. So I actually won more than I lost, and I did gain ranking. But in my head, I'm thinking I must make progress. I must have overwhelmingly more wins than losses. You know what I mean? So somehow in my own head, because I was dropping combos and being frustrated at my losses, I convinced myself that I had done poorly. But actually, I had done positively. It wasn't as bad, right? And Wizard says, you lost so many easily won games. You are absolutely correct. I had games completely won, and what would happen? I dropped the combo, the fucking easy combo. Roundhouse, fierce punch, crouch move, fierce punch, juggle into super or juggle into whatever. And I can't get the 3 hits out. 3 hits weren't coming out. And, you know, after that session, I'll be very honest, I was very suspect about my fierce punch button. Because I was like, how is it I can't just do roundhouse, fierce, fierce, and this 3rd fierce doesn't come out? And it happened multiple times. I was like, is there something wrong with this button? I'm starting to wonder, honestly. Okay? So anyway, yeah, I did better than I thought. I still have a 61% win-loss ratio with Blanca. I actually have played 695 matches with him, if you can believe. And overall, wins and losses so far, 1,608 wins, 1,162 losses, 58% win rate. So still good, still a good win rate. And I guess our next big milestone here, should be 2,500. 2,500 wins. 900 more to go. So we'll start counting. Once I get closer to that, we'll start counting again. Much like how we had the big countdown to 1,000 wins, we'll have a countdown to 2,500 wins. I think that'll be pretty epic, right? And then after that, what? Countdown to 5,000 wins, right? I don't know. But, you know, I'm excited. These are cool milestones to be tracking with you guys and I'm having fun doing it. I am. I've never done anything like this with a fighting game before. Not once in the history of me ever playing a fighting game have I tracked my overall performance or stats. You know, it's always been I just play and dick around. But it's kind of cool to see positive progress. It's cool that literally every character who I've played with, I have a positive win-loss ratio, except for Dalsim, I think. Oh, no, except for Minot. Yeah, Minot I tanked because... okay, Minot and DJ. Right. Those are the two that I tanked, and I only played once with them ever. They're like 30% win-loss ratio. But every character who I tried a second time, I've actually gotten to a positive win-loss ratio, which is excellent, right? So, cool, right? I feel a little better now. After having a stream that I was pretty deflated about back on Wednesday, I actually been feeling a little bit better now about it because I looked at the stats. I'm like, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't a negative. As long as it wasn't in a negative, I see that as a win for me, you know? So, that was cool. Now, I got a lot of feedback over the last couple of days. People started leaving comments on the videos saying, you know, if you really are dropping those combos, have you thought about upgrading your setup? Because you're basically using stock components, right? And I was like, really? So I looked into it, and some people actually sent me information. They said the joystick and the buttons that are in this stick, this is the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha. That's what this is called. This is the joystick that I use on my Xbox, okay? For what I'm going to understand, these buttons and this stick are not necessarily the ones that most people use for competitive play. That it's this style of button, I forget what company made them, is actually well known for being very touchy. And people even say you can just go like this on the edge and it'll register. And people have said some people like that because they want to make sure that the buttons are registering all the time, while others don't like it because they do get a lot of accidental inputs. So basically, these are not necessarily the tournament standard, right? for buttons that you use in a joystick. Same thing, I've actually heard this stick, some people like more and some people like less, because they're saying that it actually seems like you do have to move it a little bit more to get to a full directional input, which may be why when I'm online and people are doing drive rush attacks at me, drive rush low kick, I'm like, I swear I blocked it. It doesn't block in time because this joystick actually has a little bit more delay to react to it. I don't know. But for the very least, what I was thinking is I should upgrade the buttons because I concretely had those problems with these buttons last time. Like, I couldn't do a basic Blanca combo. What is going on, right? So, I ordered some buttons. I ordered an 8-pack of Sanwa standard buttons. You know, nothing special, nothing crazy. I got them right off of Amazon. They were available, and they're coming today. But I don't know when they're coming. They're guaranteed to come by the end of the day, but that's all that they've said. I haven't gotten any updates yet on when they're supposed to show up. But the good news is, here's the good news. When they show up today, watch this. You ready for this? This joystick is one of the coolest I've ever seen for a commercial joystick. To upgrade the joystick, all you do is push a button and do this. Look. I can upgrade it right now. Look how easy that was. So all you do is you disconnect the wire connects. You push in these two tabs. You pop the button out the top. You snap a new button in. You reconnect the wire connects. You're done. That's how you upgrade the buttons. This is the easiest joystick I've ever owned in my life to upgrade. It just opens on a hinge. They designed it that way so you can upgrade it on the fly whenever you want, instead of having to do a bunch of extra work. Now, as for the joystick, as you can see here, I'm curious how hard the joystick would be to upgrade. What I would have to do is just disconnect it from those metal brackets there that are holding it in place. I haven't looked at joysticks in a very long time, so I don't know if the joystick would be as easy. The buttons are insanely simple. Like, seriously, the buttons are insanely simple, okay? But I don't know about the joystick. So right now, I'm going to upgrade the buttons today when my new buttons show up, and we're going to see how they work. Hopefully these new buttons work well. I don't know how, the joystick is. I'll try with just the new buttons to see what happens. But if the joystick seems to be giving me problems, maybe I'll even upgrade the joystick. It's such an easy stick to upgrade that I don't think it's a major deal, not a lot of work. Very easy to do. So the button should be here today at some point. I just don't know when. I keep checking, and there is no update yet. It just says, coming by the end of day. So because of that, I wish I could tell you guys, hey, those buttons will be here for the late stream. I just got an update. The buttons will be here between 2:15 and 5:15. So they will be here in time for the Blanca stream tonight. They'll be here. They're out for delivery now. So there you go. And then what I could do is we could maybe do an upgrade of the buttons on stream, and then play and see how they work. So there you go. And hopefully they work well. You never know. They've been sitting around in a warehouse maybe. So hopefully they're not destroyed or whatever. But I guess we'll find out together and test it out tonight on the late stream. Okay, so that'll be cool. And hopefully it improves my game. Hopefully I can stop dropping freaking basic combos. You know, I did watch some more tech videos last night with Blanca. I watched Nishikin. Nishikin is really good Blanca. And here's what I found watching him last night. I watched some videos of his. Okay, he's got some interesting things that I'm not doing. For example, he drive rushes into light kick a couple times into electricity. It's a guaranteed combo if it hits. If they block, it's completely safe. He also does drive rush standing roundhouse. And if it hits, it's a big combo. And if it misses, you just go light kick electricity again, and it's completely safe. So these are two strategies I noticed him doing. I'm like, oh, those are kind of safe. And also, he's basically got his muscle memory down that if you happen to land a jump kick, like a jump roundhouse, he could do jump roundhouse into standing medium kick, and then judging on the spacing that he has on the screen, he can decide if he can do a second medium kick or if he wants to drive rush right away, and then he does his, you know, standing roundhouse, fierce combo. He does it from anywhere on the screen. So me, usually when I land a jump kick, I just do low medium kick Blanca ball. He does like a giant 30% punish combo. So this is the kind of stuff, maximizing tech is what I need to do to get better with Blanca. Also, he does jump back Blanca ball a lot to try to do things like get out of corner and stuff, and I need to start using that too. So, let's see tonight what happens. Can I implement new tech? Will these new buttons that are going to show up actually work better than the buttons that I've been using for the last 2 months? I don't know. We'll find out tonight. Okay? All right, let's go through the schedule. Today, it's Final Fantasy 16. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yes, we're still continuing on. Yes, Final Fantasy 16 today. I know you guys are going to be like, what? I know. Final Fantasy 16 today. We got to finish this game. What's funny is someone said, oh, you could beat it in 2 streams. I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. I think we're going to be like going through the first half of August before we beat this damn game. Right? If the game would just stay doing action sequences and plot, that's interesting, it would actually not be half bad. But the pacing is just so abysmally bad that it's boring half the time. And I know what's going to happen is they're probably going to have another boring segment today, and we're all going to be bored and have to start dicking around and talking with each other to stay awake. By the way, I should say this. You know, on my streams at least, you guys may have seen the Final Fantasy 16 Defense Force coming out a lot, but the consensus in the gaming community is that this game is a split down the middle. There's a lot of people who like it and a lot of people who don't. Even big gamers don't like this game and have come out and said it's not like Final Fantasy, it's more like a Witcher or another style of game, and it's just not that good. It's not as good as the games it's trying to copy. It is split in the community. It's just that people sadly seem to be staying in their own lanes. Like, oh, if I don't like the game, I only listen to people who don't like it. And if I like the game, I only listen to people who do like it. And there's no like crossover, people kind of listening to each other. I think if people kind of found a middle ground, you'd understand the situation a lot better. This game sold tons at launch, and then since then, supposedly the sales plummeted, which is why Square Enix has not reported any more sales numbers, which is weird. Because a game like this, a big blockbuster RPG, you would think they'd be reporting successful sales numbers week after week. Wow, we sold this many copies. We sold this many copies. We're so proud. They haven't said a word. They've been dead silent for a month. Why? It's probably a good reason. We just don't know because they're not saying shit, so we have no idea how much the game sold. You see? Typically, a game like this would have a good launch, but then immediately would have whole like word of mouth numbers. Oh my god, the game's so good, you got to play it, and then more people will go buy. Every week you have building sales, but no one seems to think that happened with this game. I don't know. Anyway, today we're making a push, 3+ hours of Final Fantasy 16. I don't know if we're going to be bored to tears or if we're going to be excited today. I guess we're going to find out. All right, let's do it together, and let's find out how it goes. Hopefully we make great progress. I'm trying to get to the end game. I want to beat this game within the next week to 2 weeks if possible. Okay? Tonight is Friday Night Fights and the Road to Blanca. The Road to Master with Blanca in Street Fighter 6. All right, that's 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. 2+ hours of Blanca online ranked gameplay. At the least, I hope that I'll hit 5-star diamond tonight. That would be very nice if I did that. But if I don't, I mean, it's what it is, I guess, right? But I want to hit 5-star diamond tonight. If I can hit Master, that'll never happen. There's no way in 2 hours I can hit Master. It's just not possible. But if I hit 5-star diamond tonight, I would feel like I did my job. I accomplished something. And hopefully I can play a little better tonight. And with these new buttons, maybe that'll let me improve. I don't know. We'll find out tonight. Okay? Tomorrow, everyone, is a special event. Tomorrow is the event I've been hyping for a while. It's a long-form React event, the first one we've done in many months, called The Dark Side of Machinima. I'm very excited for this event. I hope you guys will join me tomorrow all day long over on DSP Reacts, starting at 12:45 p.m. Pacific time. Here's what we're doing during this event. You ready? Number one, I am going to do a live react to the Machinima documentary made by June the King last month. All right, it's about an hour long. Knowing me, that I'm probably going to be pausing and talking a lot. It'll probably take about 2 hours or more to get through. But in addition to that, just as equal as the amount of time it'll take for me to react to that event, I have gone through all my emails and all my history with Machinima, over 6 years that I was a partner with this company. And I have finally sorted the things that have happened to me into topics. The topics range as follows. My initial contact with the company in 2009, before I ever did business with them, when they literally tried to bait and switch me into a deal that I did not agree to. I'm not kidding you. Yes, they actually tried to do like a scam on me before I ever partnered with them, which is why I was very apprehensive about working with them. Okay? I've got the initial conversations that I had with them to become a partner in 2011. Talk about money, contract increases, things like that. That'll be interesting to see how so much money was being tossed around in the early days of YouTube. Then we've got the E3 trip. And boy, do I have a lot to say about my E3 trip with Machinima. How about the fact that Machinima told me one thing, and then when I'd already agreed to it, said, oh yeah, you could have gone to E3 another way anyway, even though you already agreed to all this other shit. You didn't have to do any of that. And I was like, what? And then going to E3 and finding out that the entire trip was botched. It was a shit show when we were there. It was completely like disorganized and not ran well. We were being treated like children when we were there, which is hilarious. They didn't even know what we could do at E3. They told us nothing. So there's so much to talk about. I don't want to spoil it all, but that's just the E3 story, right? Then after the E3 story, there's the whole content ID debacle that happened on YouTube that Machinima somehow knew nothing about when YouTube launched its content ID system and everyone's videos got claimed and everyone lost all their ad revenue. I had major YouTubers coming to me begging for help on how to fix the problem. Me. Okay? Because I was the one trying to figure stuff out and I was figuring ways around it to fix it. And they were coming to me for solutions. So I could talk about that. Then there was their whole, when I was getting the insane amount of false copyright strikes against DSPGaming for content that I had used, and when I was literally advised by them to delete all my videos. There's that debacle, okay? Then we've got the year where they were incredibly supportive and sent me a ridiculous amount of free games. Even though I never really intended to get any, they just started sending me free games during the year, and I was like, wow, this is like the beginning of a great relationship. If they're going to be sending me games all the time to play, this would be spectacular. But then, wait till you hear about how that whole situation developed and ended. Because it ain't good. It ain't pretty. It was pretty fucked up what happened with that, actually. Okay? Then we've got the incident and how they basically handled the incident, which to me was the absolute polar opposite of how they should have handled it. Oh, by the way, I skipped a very big topic. Machinima's tendency to claim content without ever telling me over the years. What Machinima would do is they would actually go out there and they would find people who took my content for videos like This Is How You Don't Play and shit like that, and they would claim the content on YouTube. They never told me that they were doing it. They very rarely even contacted me. They just were doing it behind the scenes. And then people would tell me, oh, Phil, Machinima claims everything. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I had no knowledge of it, but they were claiming it and they were making money on it because they felt that any content that was mine was their legal content. So they would claim other people's videos and make money on them. And I was none the wiser. I had no idea what was going on. In fact, they even took down, initially, they very idiotically took down videos with copyright claims, which I never wanted them to do. I just wanted to well, let me put it this way. I'm spoiling the whole event because you'll see the initial email. They asked me about it. They literally wrote to me saying, we are now aware of This Is How You Don't Play. And what do you think about it? And here's how we want to handle it. Like, basically, they contacted me about all this and how they wanted to handle it. I was like, I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm leaving it alone. And they went out of their own way to handle it in a way that I never approved, but that's what they wanted to do. You see? But of course, it all rubbed off negatively on me. To this day, people still say, oh, Phil took down videos and Phil claimed videos. I did none of that. That was all Machinima. That was my partner network doing that shit. I had no control over what they did because they were the bigwig on YouTube, not me, you see? But you'll see, I couldn't believe it when I saw the initial email. I was like, so that's how it all began, because I didn't even remember that, And then, of course, there's the biggest one, which is the adpocalypse in 2017, when basically everything fell apart because ad revenue on YouTube plummeted, and I'm not kidding you. Machinima blew off my request for help for 2 weeks, basically stating they don't know anything, and then tried to tell me it was my fault. They were actually trying to tell me that the dip in ad revenue on YouTube was my fault. Yes, I'm serious. The adpocalypse, that was common knowledge to everyone in the public, that YouTube was losing advertisers and shit. They were trying to tell me that I was the reason that I lost all my money. So, you'll see. Oh, trust me, you will see all of this tomorrow, okay? So that's this event that we're going to be doing tomorrow, all day long on DSP Reacts. Not only the reaction to the documentary by June the King, but me going through my entire history with Machinima, with all the emails and receipts to show you what I'm talking about, to corroborate. And it's going to be a fun event, because finally I get to talk about it. The company doesn't exist anymore, so I can finally talk about this stuff publicly. When I was working with them under contract, there were NDAs and shit. I wasn't supposed to talk about it, but now I can say whatever I want. They've been out of business for many years, and I owe nothing to anyone. I have no contractual obligations to anyone. It's all fair game now, okay? So, that'll be a fun event tomorrow, and I'm going to be ordering some food. We are going to do a Feasting with Phil, taste test, mukbang meal, whatever the hell you want to call it, because there's a million things we've called it, that we're going to do live. What is it going to be? I don't know yet. My wife and I have been talking about it, and I think we don't want Mexican, we don't want Asian, because we're thinking of things we had recently. Recently, we've eaten Hawaiian, Mexican, and Asian, so all those are kind of out, all right? So you think, what do we want to do? We don't know. We're thinking about it. But we're going to order some kind of food and do a live video of that as well during the event. So it's all day tomorrow. We will have the podcast here on DSP Gaming, but then we're heading right over to DSP Reacts, where we're going to do the day-long Machinima React event, the dark side of Machinima. It should be exciting, especially for those of you who had history with me for years, and you always wondered what was the true behind-the-scenes stories about Machinima and everything. You're going to finally get all of those tomorrow. I mean, now I can do it. Finally, I'm free to, my hands are untied, and I can say whatever I want, so now we're going to do it tomorrow, okay? Then on Sunday, it's going to be DSP versus the Internet, my weekly Clips React show on DSP Reacts, where the members are nominating clips. So by the way, if you're a channel member on DSP Reacts, you have basically 24 hours left to nominate clips for Sunday's show, so please do. Sunday night will be community night in Street Fighter 6. So Sunday night, all the viewers will jump into a lobby with me, and we'll have some nice casual play in Street Fighter 6. That should be a fun time. And then Monday, daytime stream, 3+ hour ranked session of Street Fighter 6. Honestly, depending on how tonight goes, that might be the stream where I hit Master with Blanca. We'll see. It would be great if I do, because if I do, it'll feel like a big sigh of relief, and then maybe I can move on and try to play with my other characters again and try to level them up again, okay? So let's see how it goes. Tonight with Blanca, and then probably the main stream on Monday is more Blanca. Monday night, Grand Theft Auto 5. Tuesday, Final Fantasy 16, and probably Grand Theft Auto 5. And then Wednesday, Street Fighter 6 and Grand Theft Auto 5. So you might say, well, it's a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, I was thinking about balancing and maybe doing one night of GTA and one night of like Street Fighter 6 World Tour mode. But I think I'll hold off on that. I know people are really fiending for GTA 5 right now. So I figure if we do 3 night streams, that's 6 hours of progress in the week. That'd be pretty good. So we'll probably do that. Okay? Sound good? All right. And, between today's stream and Tuesday's stream of Final Fantasy 16, I'm hoping by then we'll be in the end game, and maybe next week we will finish the game. Now, in the month of August, I've got 2 special events planned. Special event number 1 is a retrospective marathon, by which you guys are going to be nominating your favorite moments from my entire history as a content creator over the month of August in community posts. Members will get priority. Standard viewers will get lowered priority, but members will basically get their stuff watched first, okay? So, that's going to be fun. I haven't done a retrospective event in years, and to do one for my 15th anniversary will be very nice. In addition, there's going to be a Project 7 special screening event. during the Project 7 screening event, we're going to be watching back all the Project 7 episodes, and I'll do live commentary on them, pausing, giving you supplemental info, especially now that we've watched the John and Howard video last year. There's going to be a lot more new info to add, because now we know what their perspective, what was really going on. But in addition, I think when we do that event, I'm also going to do a special tier maker event. And listen to this. Listen to how cool this is. So, over the years, I always do my Game of the Year countdowns. This tier maker is essentially going to take all of my number 1 and number 2 spot countdown games, and we're going to rank them all in tier maker together in 2023. So it's going to be at least like 20 games, and we're going to be ranking them from top to bottom. Which games stood the test of time and to this day are still amazing S-tier games? Which games maybe were cool at the moment, but now we don't even think about them ever again, and they're just flash in the pan success, and we don't even remember, they're just crap now. So we're going to be ranking all those. How cool is that going to be, right? I think that's going to be pretty neat. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the month, special stuff in the month of August. Plus, once we finish Final Fantasy 16, GTA will become a daytime stream. I'll continue with my Street Fighter 6 coverage. I want to do some more retro playthroughs. I'm thinking of doing some cool throwback playthroughs of like maybe Super Mario Bros. 3 or some classic Mega Man games or something else. Basically, there's potential that I could do something really awesome that I've wanted to do for a while, but I don't know if it's going to come together or not. So I'm not going to start teasing or promising you the world, and then I don't like over-promising and under-delivering. So let me put it this way. I got an ace in the hole, and if I could do it, it would be absolutely amazing, but it's not a guarantee as of yet that it's going to come together. I will let you know when I have more information on that if I could do it, okay? So that's all. I mean, August is going to be great. Special retro events to celebrate my anniversary as a creator. Awesome playthroughs. Good variety of stuff coming up, okay? So I think you guys are going to be excited, okay? All right. I got through all of that. Yesterday was not a very eventful day. That's why I didn't really do a Phil's Day Off segment. I didn't do that much. I had a lot of errands to do. I had to go to the garbage dump yesterday. I did, run around and do so menial things that aren't interesting to the audience here. But I came home and I relaxed with my wife for a bit. We actually ordered out and we got, what the hell did we get for dinner? Sushi. We hadn't had sushi in a while, so we ordered some sushi. We got this new one that was like a bunch of tuna, but also crab, but also shrimp, but also something else. It was like really good. It had like all these different, seafood together. It was super duper tasty. And we also got to order a teriyaki. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good dinner that we had together. And we watched a bunch of stuff. We were watching just random stuff that's now been put on Max, because Max fused HBO content with like Travel Channel and HGTV content. So we've been watching stuff like House Hunters just for fun. We're not looking to get a house. It's just for fun to watch that stuff. Some House Hunters, some cooking reality shows and stuff like that. Just for variety purposes, just for fun and just to relax. So, relaxing day with the wife. Nothing too special to really talk about. Nothing too crazy. Besides me ordering the Sanwa buttons for today. So, okay. News stories. Let's get to news stories before we get to shout-outs, shall we? Because I have a good amount of news to talk about today. So let's do that. First of all, Nicki Minaj is coming to Call of Duty. Why aren't you celebrating? I don't understand. Why aren't you doing backflips? Why aren't you... Look, I'm not shitting. You think I was kidding, because people might think I made that up. Are you ready? There she is with her pink assault rifle. So, no, I'm not kidding. And what's funny is, I see people reacting to it all over the internet. And people are like, hey, do you remember when Call of Duty used to be like a military shooter? Where their whole goal with the game was to try to be like a military sim game. And it was serious. And, people were like seriously into competitive plays. Like, now look what the game's become. Everyone has a neon gun. Everyone has fucking, stupid hair, all tie-ins. And everyone's like, you know what this is? This is the Fortnite effect. When Fortnite became the prominent multiplayer game on the internet, and all the money was being sunk into Fortnite, right? Every other company decided they needed to follow suit and copy Fortnite. Call of Duty was not immune to this. And Call of Duty has gone down that rabbit hole of shit where all they care about is making microtransactions. They really don't give a fuck about the quality of their game. So who cares if Nicki Minaj is in Call of Duty, right? It's the dumbest thing you ever see. Can you imagine? You're going to play Call of Duty and everyone's going to be this fucking stupid skin running around. Wow, this is really what I wanted in my military shooter. It's moronic. It just shows it's not for adults anymore. It's for fucking brain dead idiots. Who the fuck would want Nicki Minaj in a fucking Call of Duty game? So there you go. Continuing on. It has officially been announced they're making a sequel to Nintendo All-Star Brawl. Yes. Do you remember Nintendo it's a mouthful. Nintendo All-Star Brawl. You want to say R-Star Brawl, right? Yeah, they're making a sequel to it. I said Nintendo. It's Nickelodeon. Excuse me. I'm people saying keep saying Nintendo. It's Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. The reason I said Nintendo is because I keep thinking it's Smash Brothers. It's not. It's the I almost said it again. It's the Nickelodeon version of Smash Brothers that includes characters like Garfield, SpongeBob, the Ninja Turtles. Who's here? Avatar, The Last Airbender, stuff like that. So the last one apparently sold well, but it's not surprising because if you remember, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 1 came out right after they stopped releasing content for Smash Brothers. What was the last one? Smash Brothers Ultimate Smashing of Smashes or something, whatever it was called. Get Smashed, whatever it was called. So that one ended. There was no more DLC content, and immediately people were looking for the replacement. So Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 1, for a lot of people, became that replacement. They all bought it and then found out, oh, this game is nowhere near as good as Smash. And within like a year, everyone dropped it, because then with the next game that came out, if you remember, was Multiverses. And so Multiverses took over that mantle for about a year, right? But now Multiverses has been retired as they go back to the drawing board to try to redesign the game to make it something profitable. So that game's gone. You can't even play it anymore. So now Nickelodeon is jumping back on the bandwagon and releasing Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, and it releases on October 24th. It's $50. Okay? And the funny part about it is, I feel that, like, if Multiverses had been more successful, this game would flop. But the thing is, Multiverses is gone. So now people are like, well, Smash is old. Multiverses is gone. We need our platformer fighter fix. So I guarantee you this game's going to sell well. Even though the first one was not critically acclaimed. Most people who played the first one didn't like it that much. It's the only new platform fighter out there, and I guarantee you people are going to buy it now. It's funny. Again, if Multiverses had been more successful and stuck around, this game probably would have flopped. But I bet this game's going to sell like hotcakes now. Just on that premise, I bet. Okay, continuing on. Capcom is planning to release a giant unannounced game by March 2024, and they are expecting it to sell millions of copies. And the reason we know this, I guess, is because there was some kind of like I don't know if it was like an earnings call or whatever, but basically what they do is they project their earnings, and there is a giant something in their earnings that they're projecting for first quarter 2024 that they think is going to make them insane amounts of money, but they didn't announce the game yet, so we don't even know what it is yet. So what could it be? And of course, there's all kinds of speculation around this. What could it possibly be? Some people think, so yeah, people in the chat right now, they're saying Dino Crisis reboot. Do you think it's Dino Crisis or Dino Crisis remastered? What else could it be? It's not Street Fighter related because Street Fighter 6 is already out. There's not going to be anything else there. Resident Evil. I mean, what could they possibly release in Resident Evil that would be a ginormous $1 million generator? You know, DLC? I don't think so, right? So what could it be? Some people are thinking perhaps a Monster Hunter game. That, if that's the case, that would make a lot of sense to me. But it would be weird that we're not even a year away from it and we don't even know that there's a new Monster Hunter game. That would be weird. You know what I mean? But then again, it's been a while, right? There hasn't been a new Monster Hunter in a while. There was that expansion a while back, but there was not a new one. So maybe that's what it is then? I don't know. But that's interesting, you know. Wonder what does Capcom have up their sleeve? Hopefully we'll find out soon. So this was talked about the other day, but I figure I'll mention it on today's show. Nintendo shadow dropped. I like when the people call it shadow dropping if they don't do any PR for it. 2 Zelda games for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers, and it's the standard level. You don't have to have the higher level to get this. It is The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. For those who don't know, these were the 2 Zelda games that were released for Game Boy. Now, for my knowledge, they're almost the same game, are they not? Isn't it kind of like Pokemon, where there's like slight differences between the two, depending on if you bought Seasons or Ages? But I don't think that it necessarily is a huge difference, so you really only need one of them. Is that not true? Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, because I remember that they had come out. No? People are saying, no, that's not true? I thought, because I remember when they came out, I thought they came out at the same time. Are they completely different games? Zen Shuriken says they are more different. They came out in 2001, says Abdullah. One is action-oriented. One has a more puzzle orientation. Really? I've never played them. Okay? So these games look they're full color, by the way. Even though they're Game Boy games, they're colored fully. Because remember, for Game Boy Color or the thing for SNES, you can plug your Game Boy games into it, right? Or, wait a minute. Am I thinking wrong? Are these not the Game Boy games? Are these the Game Boy Advance games? Which ones are these? You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking wrong. I think I'm thinking completely wrong. I think I'm confusing this. They're Game Boy Color games? They're Game Boy Color. So I'm not confusing them. Because there was a Game Boy Advance game too. And now I think I'm confusing it with that. They were the first Color Zelda games on Game Boy. Okay. Gotcha. Anyway. I've never played them. To my knowledge, they play very similar to Zelda Link to the Past. So maybe I would enjoy them. Should I play them? That's something for you guys to decide. Do you think that I should play these games over the course of August? Maybe give them a shot? I don't know much about them. I don't know how long they are, how tough they are. They are Game Boy games. So, up to you. If you guys thought that might be something cool to do in August, I'd be down for that. And they're on Nintendo Switch Online if you're interested. Okay? So there you go. I mean, that was cool that they're added basically for nothing. Oh, here we go. Huge rumor, huge speculation. Prepare your butts for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, the rumor is that Rockstar Games is going to make more money on GTA Online. What? No, I'm kidding. The rumor is that Rockstar Games is remaking and or remastering and re-releasing Red Dead Redemption 1. Because it has been discovered that there was a new website update, and now there is a new logo added to the website that says Rockstar Games Presents Red Dead Redemption. And no one knows why they would have a new logo that says that, because the game's not called that. It was just called Red Dead Redemption. So then what the hell is Rockstar Games Presents Red Dead Redemption? There's got to be a change to the game, or they wouldn't have redone the logo. So everyone's like, well, if that's the case, maybe they are actually redoing the first one. If they do redo the first one, great. I would play it again. I love the first one. I think the first one's better than the second one when it comes to gameplay elements. I do think the story of the second one is absolutely outstanding. But the first one's got it all. Like, the first one's got a great narrative plus interesting gameplay. Well, I felt like the second game was more just story. That's all I really cared about. Like, the gameplay just basically took a back seat to the story or the narrative, right? Well, of course, we have no information on it. We don't know when it would be coming out or anything. All we have as a hint that this is existing is the new logo. So, does it exist? Does it not exist? I don't know. One final news story, okay? Mortal Kombat 1 has announced its first beta will take place the weekend of August 18th through the 21st. All right? But the only way to play it is... You ready? Ready? To pre-order the game. If you pre-order the game early, then you will get access to this beta. So the question is this something that I should do? I'm curious. Would you guys be interested in seeing me do the beta for Mortal Kombat 1? Would you like that? Would you like to see me pre-order the game and then play in this online beta that weekend? Now, another question. What console should I get it on? Has it been confirmed that this game is cross-platform yet? I don't know if it has been, right? I mean, right now, this joystick, with the new buttons I'm getting today, will be my most modern way to basically play the game. My other joystick is ancient, almost 10 years old now for PlayStation, right? So, but the thing is it going to be cross-platform or not? Because if it's not cross-platform, I think I'd be shooting myself in the foot to buy it on Xbox. In which case, maybe I'm just going to be playing it on gamepad, because I don't think that joystick over there is going to be very good for it. You know? I don't know. I don't know. So let me know what you think. Would you like to see it? Because I'm going to get the game regardless. I'm going to get the game either on Xbox or PlayStation 5. One or the other, I'm getting it. I'm buying it and I'm playing it in September. But the question is... oh, you're right. Mr. Puzzle says, remember something. Just listen to this. If you get it on PlayStation, you're going to have to resubscribe to PlayStation Plus. He's right. He's right. I don't want to pay for PS Plus. I just don't. I really don't. I don't see the point. Why pay for PS Plus? What the fuck am I gonna get out of it? Nothing. I'm not gonna get anything out of PS Plus, right? It's a waste. Well, give me your feedback. I'll think about it. Let's try to figure this out together, okay? But either way, I'm definitely playing the game. I'm buying it. We're getting it. I'm playing it in September. It's definitely one of the major releases of September I'm covering. All right? I guess it's just a matter of, you know, where to get it. If it's crossplay, then Xbox it is. If it's crossplay, I'm getting it on Xbox. If it's not crossplay, then I really need to look into what to do. See, the thing is, that joystick over there for PlayStation 4, 5 is beat up. That joystick I used for the launch of Street Fighter 5 and its betas, and for that first year of Street Fighter 5. I used it for Tekken 7. I used it for Injustice 2, Mortal Kombat. I think I used it for Mortal Kombat 10 and 11. Hell, I used it for all of the classic Street Fighter games. So the 30th Anniversary Collection, right? And to some extent the other one too. What was the other one that I played? Capcom Fighting Collection. So I've used that joystick a lot. And that joystick is not easily moddable. Unlike this one, that you can just open it and swap the parts right out. That joystick over there, you have to disassemble, and there's potential you could break stuff. It's not meant to be a heavily moddable joystick. So I'm almost thinking, if I'm going to play fighting games on PS5, then I got to get a new joystick for PS5. I got to find a good one. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions of a good joystick for PS5 for fighting games. But, you know, I'm a little wary. If it's crossplay, I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, Dabhan says MK1 will have crossplay at release, but the beta will not have crossplay enabled. Well, that's shitty. That's shitty. It should. It should have crossplay enabled, goddammit. That pisses me off. It's not that big of a deal. All right, this is just some topics to start talking about. We have a couple of weeks, a few weeks, actually 3 weeks to figure this out. Okay, so not a huge deal, but let's I'm checking my buttons. It says they're out for delivery, but it doesn't say how many stops till they're delivered. Sometimes it'll say like, oh, 10 stops till delivered, but it doesn't say that right now. So I don't know yet when those buttons are coming. But these are all topics to start talking about. All right, so here's the topics we discussed today. Before we get to shout-outs, topic number 1. How do you want to see me continue to cover Street Fighter 6? Do you want to see me do a push for Master with Blanca? Do you want to see me continue to do variety? Like, what do you want to see in Street Fighter 6? That's number 1. Number 2, why do you think that Street Fighter 6 is continuing to get great support every time I play it, but a game that's getting insane amount of attendance and engagement, like GTA 5, is getting almost no support? And what can I do to fix that? Because I want to play what you want, but I also have to balance business with pleasure. That's the sad fact. So I got to figure out what's going on there. I definitely need information on that, okay? Number 3, in the month of August, would you like to see me play more retro games, like maybe old Mario or Mega Man, or maybe one of these Zelda games that was just added? Or do you have other ideas for retro things that I can do in the month of August? Please share those ideas. And now with Mortal Kombat 1, is it crossplay? And do you think that I should get it on Xbox or PlayStation? Do you want to see me do the beta? Is that important enough for you to see me play the beta that weekend? You know, if I get it for PlayStation, I got to get a new joystick. I just have to. That joystick's too beat up. I need a new one. So I'd have to now I'd have to start doing research into new joysticks. What would be a good joystick for PS5 that I could get that you guys recommend? So I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. Please, feedback is key. Please leave comments on this video. Contact me. Email me. Tweet me. You can tweet at me. You can tweet right at me and say, oh, wait a minute. You can't tweet me because there's no Twitter. You have to X me. X me. Send X. I can't wait to be X'd by you. Please X all over me. All right? Just X all over the place and let me know your thoughts about all these topics. Okay? Yo, he's a fucking idiot. Zeet. Oh, Zeet. Excuse me. It's not Xing. I need to. Please, Zeet. Please get to Zeeting. I want uncontrolled full power, full force zeeting on these topics. Please, all over the place. Zeet, uncontrolled. Zeet. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. It was funny because, you know, all these experts are coming out now and saying, they're finally saying what they should have said to begin with. They've actually analyzed the situation and what's going on with Twitter, Xer, Zeter, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And finally, I've seen multiple experts when it comes to social norms, social media, pop culture have come out. We're talking people who study it. We're not talking some asshole with a commentator online. We're talking people who study pop culture on a scientific level. And they've said Elon Musk literally has zero knowledge of anything that he controls. He's a rich guy who's eccentric and thinks he knows things and knows nothing. And literally just fucks around because he's rich. So what he's done to Twitter, he systematically took something that was part of pop culture around the world and he's destroying it step by step. Like literally every change he makes to the site just makes it worse and less people are going to use it, to the point where, you know, it's just hilarious because he thinks he's so fucking in the know. Like he's running into Twitter when he bought it with a sink. Let that sink in. Yeah, let it sink in that you're a fucking idiot. You're literally the dumbest rich person on the planet. You couldn't have any more empirical evidence that you're a moron. You're destroying everything that you buy because you don't get it. Right? You think you're hip and you're in the know. You're the opposite. You don't know anything. You know what he said the other day? I'm going to get rid of light mode. Xer will be dark mode forever. Why? Oh, because he just likes dark mode better. But don't you understand the reason that light and dark mode exists is for accessibility? That there's people who have limited eyesight, that there's people who need those modes to actually access your app and use it. So within a few hours of announcing he was going to get rid of light mode, everyone clapped back at him and said, you're a fucking idiot. It's not just for personal preference. People needed to actually use your app for accessibility. And he made the announcement, oh, okay, we're not going to get rid of light mode. Sorry about that. He's just a moron. He literally talks out of his ass constantly about nothing. He's just stupid. And he's rich as shit. You got to wonder what life is like for people like that. I was born rich. Everything I did in my life, I failed up. Right? Everything I did that I failed at just gave me a better stature in life because I was already rich. And everything I do is just fucking ridiculous. People are so dumb, they buy my products because I'm rich. Just that's it, because I'm rich and everyone knows about me. So everyone just buys this Tesla. Everyone buys this. Everyone SpaceX. Everything X with this guy. SpaceX, fucking X Twitter. What the fuck is your obsession with X? Did you know he owned the domain x.com since 1999? And now finally he has a reason to use it, and he's like ecstatic now. He's like, oh, my plans finally came to fruition. It's like... Unbelievable. Anyway, whatever. It's ridiculous. So anyway, Zeet all over the place, but also email me, leave comments on this video. I need your feedback. Today's a great opportunity for constructive feedback on what I should do in the next month about Mortal Kombat, games, Street Fighter coverage, support for GTA and what to do to fix that. All these topics. I love your feedback. Please send it, okay? Welcomed and appreciated. All right. That's it. That's all I got to say. I think we should move on to shout-outs, and then we'll do, like, you know, some Q&A and stuff. Fair enough? Okay. We're ready to continue? All right. So, where are we starting? We'll start on the YouTube side of things. So we've got Eternal Napalm, who's been a member for 26 months. Says, happy Friday and enjoy your weekend. Thank you, Eternal Napalm. My weekend is my work week. My day off was yesterday. My weekend is just normal streaming. Although tomorrow's a special event. I am excited for the Machinima event tomorrow. I think that'll be a fun one. Something different. I get to talk about personal experiences in my life that a lot of you didn't really know the ins and outs of at the time. Everyone wanted to know, and I couldn't tell anyone because I was under NDA all the time. I couldn't talk about any of that shit. Now I can finally talk about all that stuff. Okay, so good stuff. Thank you, Eternal Napalm. Dark Maggot has re-upped his membership for 26 months as well at the super supporter level. Thank you, Dark Maggot. He says, "Sup, man, how's it going?" It is going good. You know, excited for the future, excited for my anniversary events, excited for the Machinima event, excited for everything. It's going to be good coming up. And it's good to have you here, and thanks for the ongoing support. And we got Zombie Jesus with a $2 super chat. Why is 95% of the podcast schedule reading? It's not. You're just not listening. You're listening to the part you don't like, and then you're complaining about it. So if you actually measured how much was schedule reading versus me talking about news, me talking about things going on with the streams, schedule reading is probably maybe like 20%, if that. But, you know, this is the problem with the humans, is that they tend to create narratives in their heads that don't exist to try to prove a point. And your narrative is completely shattered and broken. So I will say thank you for the super chat, but you are incorrect. By the way, frequently when I talk about the schedule here on streams, we figure something out that's cool. We go, oh, this would be good for the schedule, or maybe I made a mistake, let's fix this, or shouldn't we shuffle this around for a special event? There's a reason why I don't want to do the schedule by myself offline, because feedback is critical. Getting your live feedback to things I'm telling you about my schedule and stuff like that, that's how we improve the schedule. Do you understand? If it was just me making the schedule constantly and having no feedback from my viewers on what's going on or whatever, then the schedule would suck. But actually saying, hey, this works, this doesn't. What about this idea to mix it up, or this a little different? That's awesome. That's why I like doing it live like this. So there you go. Okay. Ladies and gents, that's all I got for shout-outs right now. We got no tips yet today, no memberships. So, let's open this up to some Q&A. We got a little bit of extra time. If you want to shoot questions my way, let's see what you guys want to talk about today. Okay? All right. Happy Friday to you, Albert. Carlos says, to be fair, getting Master in Street Fighter 6 is hard. About 23,500 plus Diamond 4, you start fighting Masters a lot. Max plays Street Fighter 6 like crazy. With only one character, he just hit Master like 20 days ago. I mean, I don't really know what to say about it. For me, I feel like if I just had the time to commit to it, I would do it. I would have been Master a month ago if I just committed to Blanca. But instead, I've been doing variety, you know. So that's, I mean, what can I say? You know, that's just reality for me. I honestly, at this point, this early on in the game, I feel like it's more of just a time commitment than a hurdle. I think as the game progresses on, you get more and more people playing it, then it'll be more of a skill issue. I think right now it's a time issue. I really feel that way. Abdullah says he found a good website called Super Combo that has lots of good information about Street Fighter 6. Jane says, I had some chicken nuggets and corn dogs. He says, I'm going to talk in the chat, but Final Fantasy 16 is long and slow. Yeah, I know. Oh, I know, Jane. I hear ya. Returnal says, will Rockstar ever make a new game? Supposedly they're making GTA 6. Grim River says, what's the game you're most excited about this year? You know, it's an interesting question. That's a very interesting question. Hold on. Well, in September, it's probably Starfield, although MK1's probably going to be really good. Let's see. October, I'm very interested in Assassin's Creed Mirage. Alan Wake 2, actually, I hope is really good. Spider-Man, not Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man. I hope that one's really good. A new Super Mario Brothers game, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I'm down for that. That sounds great to me. If Sonic Superstars actually comes out, that would be great. Like a Dragon Gaiden could be really good. The return to the classic Yakuza formula to see what happened to Kazuma Kiryu. The Super Mario RPG remake is actually exciting for me. I'm actually pretty excited for that. And you know that Avatar game looked pretty good. It was like Avatar, but it was like Far Cry. So I would say those are the games that I'm most interested in. There's tons more on my list, but those are the ones that I'm most interested in by the end of the year. Okay. So Game Connoisseur, wow, first of all, okay, before we even continue, I gotta give major props. Game Connoisseur, no, excuse me, I'm such an idiot, I read this completely wrong. Their name is Game Consumer, not Game Connoisseur. Games Consumer says, Master Dalsim player. Before I read the rest of your message, I have to give you props. I give you many, many props for hitting Master level with Dalsim. He is tough to play in Street Fighter 6. I feel like he has so many disadvantages in the game. I love the character build, but you saw when I was trying to play with him back in June how frustrated I was getting. Because it seems like he just gets destroyed in certain situations in the corner and stuff. So I give you many, many props for hitting Master rank with Dalsim. That is a lot of respect worthy for me. You get my respect on that. Okay. He says, it's actually very easy to advance once you're Diamond 5. You're going to gain like 250 points and only lose 30 whenever you play a Master player. Is that true? Really? So when you hit Diamond 5, all of a sudden, every win, if you're playing a Master, you get like a ton of points. Well, that's interesting. Huh. Well, I guess we'll see what happens tonight. I'm only a small handful of wins away from Diamond 5. I think I ended at like 23. Actually, I know where I ended. Hold on. I have the spreadsheet. I ended at... we're not tracking the points. Shit. We're not tracking the points, so I can't answer that. I want to say we ended at like 23,400, and I think you have to hit like 23,800 to hit Diamond 5, and then you have to hit 25,000 to hit Master, right? So that's not bad then, if that's the case. If let's say I hit Diamond 5 tonight, so I would need what, like 6-7 wins to do it? Huh? Well, maybe we'll hit it then. I don't know. But we'll see what happens tonight on the late stream. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting question. So, Trigger says, fighting games seem to be your forte, but what would you say is your second... What kind of game are you second best at? I have no clue. What would you guys think? Out of all the games that I've played over the years, you know, fighting games I'm probably the best at. What do you think is the game I'm second best at? RPGs? Like JRPGs? Or, I don't know, first-person shooters? It seems like when I dedicate myself to try to play a game like Call of Duty, I could do really well. Usually I win way more than I lose. I get a lot of good positive kill-death ratio. At the same time, it's hard for me to really commit because I don't really like them that much. These days, the modern ones I don't really like as much, you know? Survival horror, you think so? Wizards says detective mystery games, you figure those out well. Walking Sims. Dabian says, you know, hard to say because most of the game types don't need the same kind of skill to be good at. All right. Grim Reaper says RPGs. Let's see here. Am I a fan of soy sauce with sushi? I do not add anything additional to sushi whatsoever. Whatever is presented to me in the sushi roll, that's what I eat. I don't dip it in anything. I don't add, like some people add ginger, they add wasabi, they add soy sauce. No, I just eat it as is. Because the way I feel is they were supposed to create a perfect flavor balance with that bite of sushi. And if you're adding anything else, you're messing with that balance. So if I want soy sauce, I'll fucking just have some soy sauce. You know what I mean? Soy sauce is for like, you're eating a gyoza, right? Or a dumpling, and you're trying to add extra flavor. But the sushi is already supposed to be balanced well. And just think about this. If you're having a sushi roll and it's got multiple kinds of fish, it's got maybe some avocado, the rice, everything there is meant to complement everything else. Why not just put some fucking ketchup on it, right? Some fucking Thousand Island dressing. Like, no. Just eat it. That's what I do. I don't mess with it. I ended at 23,446, says Dap Hands. Okay, so if I'm earning 50 points a win, right? So that would mean I need 8 or 9 more match wins. 8 or 9 more match wins without losing. And I would hit 5-star diamond. And then if I'm doing 250 per win after that, I mean literally 5 wins, right? And then I would hit master. So maybe potentially tonight we could do it. If I fight a bunch of master people, let's see what happens. Jade says, I'm ready for Mortal Kombat 1. I play with the sisters, you mean Katana and Melina, and Sub-Zero and Li Mei and Scorpion. Cool. It's cool. Again, I like that they're going back to the original plot line because now all the classic characters are back and they're prominent again. And I like that. It's where the roots of the series are. It's where their best success has been. Dabian says, in Japan, I'd agree. The sushi chefs there get it perfect. I don't know about the rest of the world. The struggle sushi has, they might need help. Surprisingly enough, we have a local place that's super good. We have a local place that you wouldn't know that it's as good as it is, but when you walk in, it's a little thing. It's not huge, but they got a big-ass sushi bar, professional chefs. They're handling their business, and they know what they're doing. They make it fresh right in front of you, and you eat it. Oh, my God. The flavor combinations are outstanding. They have their own recipes that they've designed there to be their own. Plus, they've got classics. You get classic sushi rolls everyone knows about. You can get their own special chef specialties, and they're really good. So, Wizard said, is there a reason you didn't order a new lever as well for the stick? Right now, I want to go piece by piece. Let's upgrade the buttons. Right now, I feel like my problem is the buttons. I really do. I don't think my problem is the joystick as much. It's the buttons. Like, I literally had combos dropping. It's like kick, punch, down 3 punches, punch. What the fuck? How did I not get 4 inputs? How did I get 2? Right? I think it's a big problem. So, we'll try that. If I continuously have issues with inputs, I'll get a new joystick too. But the one problem I'm having with the joystick is a lot of the times I'm trying to do a light attack buffered into electricity, but the game gives me the crouch instead. And that sucks ass. You don't want to get the crouch. The crouch could fuck you up. It really can. So hopefully that I can get a handle on that. But if that's really the only issue I think I have with the joystick right now. We'll see though. Well, I might still get one. I mean, the buttons are so easy to upgrade. You literally unplug, pop out, pop in, plug back in. You're good to go. It's super easy upgrade. With the joystick, you're gonna have to take off the brackets, and each joystick has a different mount. You have to line up the button, or line it up right, and fuck around with it a little bit. It's a little bit more complicated, so I wasn't really that much of a rush to upgrade the actual stick portion. So, is this a square gate or an octagon gate? Isn't it? Aren't they all square? They're almost all square, right? Oh, it's definitely square gate. Yeah. How many? Do they even have prominent fight sticks that are octagon gate now? I couldn't even tell you. Octagon gate. Back in the day, you want to hear something really weird. Back in the day, people were sold that the best kind of joysticks were laser joysticks. It was a round gate. It wasn't octagon or square. It was actually a circle, and it had a laser reader inside. So when you move the joystick around, it would feel smooth. The problem with this is that it would malfunction constantly. But people thought it was good, so everyone upgraded their arcade equipment for like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 to this laser joystick that would constantly have fucking issues. It was a piece of shit. It was really stupid. Oh, really? So, Wizard says, I have a Sanwa lever. That's an octagon gate. Oh, okay. Will I ever play TKK again? I remember you guys played in 20. No, I remember you guys played together back in Street Fighter 4 was the thing. He has a good grief, a good geef. Oh, the King Kindred? King Kindred's still around? That guy's awesome. King Kindred was a guy, we talked a little shit back and forth, but he, behind the scenes, dude, he's a really nice guy. And over the years, every once in a while, I would check in with him a little bit and talk with him in like DMs and stuff. And then the fucking DMs went away. That was the thing. I remember once I was playing Street Fighter. I think it was like Street Fighter 4 years later. And someone tried to impersonate him. They had an account that said King Kindred. And what happened was I played him and he like rage quit. And I actually messaged King Kindred, the real King Kindred behind the scenes. And I was like, that wasn't you, right? I'm pretty sure. He's like, dude, no. He's like, I don't even play anymore. I'm not making videos. And so some asshole is going around using my name, which is messed up. But he was like the nicest dude behind the scenes. I mean, everything you always want to have a public rivalry and shit talk, when you're online to build up the rivalry. The only regret I have when I played King Kindred, that was like one of the worst connections ever. It was laggy as shit. So I know that it wasn't representative of what I could have done because the game was like in slow fucking mo. So it wasn't fun to play. It was just kind of a waste of time. And I was like, what? That was stupid. Of course, that was the era of Street Fighter 4. Now I bet connections are much better. Yeah. By the way, guys, I've already said this. If anyone wanted to challenge, like anyone from back in the day, like let's say, what the hell's his name? I can't remember his name. Who was the first guy who I did a grudge match against? Was it Free One Up? What was his name? Was it Free One Up? I know King Kindred was like the second guy I did it against, right? But basically, like anyone who's out there, was it Free One Up? Yeah, I would love to do any kind of matches like that. As a silly, have some exhibitions and stuff like that in Street Fighter 6. Keep in mind, I'm not a top level player at all. I'm not playing at a high level. I haven't played this game nonstop since it came out. I don't expect to be playing at a competitive pro level, but at a level where it's kind of like an online challenge, that would be dope to throw down with those guys again. And I said this a month ago, right? I outright said that, and nothing's come of it. No one's contacted me, nothing. So if anyone was interested in that, yeah, if any of these guys wanted to play me or whatever, they reached out, I'd probably consider it, but I've heard nothing. As usual, Jasper is good today, Jade. his usual energetic self. So there you go. No, see, the thing is, I like Smash Brothers as a casual game, but I would never get into it competitively. It's not my thing. It's a very different style of competitive game. I respect it, but it's not something that I would want to play at any competitive level. So, not really into it. Okay. Why would I care about Final Fantasy XIV coming to Xbox exactly? I mean, I'm just being honest, because people have been spamming this in my chat all morning. It was announced Final Fantasy XIV is coming to... Why would I care about an MMO coming to Xbox? Why should I care about an MMO coming to Xbox? Why would I even have a little iota of excitement over that? I'm just curious. If there's a reason I should, let me know. But when have MMOs ever been a part of my content? When has anyone asked for MMO content? When did I ever have time to invest in an MMO? I'm just... People get excited over stuff like, why are people excited about this? Final Fantasy XIV. Really? Not talking badly about the game at all, but I mean, you know who I am and what content I put out, so why would I be excited about that? I don't know. Alright guys, last chance for any questions before we switch over and continue with Final Fantasy 16. I love Dr. Pepper. I think Dr. Pepper is a tasty soda. Thing is, I just don't drink soda that much anymore. You know, I just don't I drink carbonated seltzer. This is what I drink. That's it. Carbonated seltzer. I meant to say flavored seltzer. Carbonated water. I don't drink soda. I never heard of Vault Soda. No. No, I've never ridden a deer, but I've seen a deer. I just saw a deer last week, actually. When I was driving around doing errands, not yesterday, but the week before. I was driving around doing errands, and I saw a deer right over in a field to my left. Big felty antlers, eating some grass around a tree. It was very nice. No, I've never hit a deer. Absolutely not. I've never seen a moose. No. I'd like to see a moose. I like animals. Why do players have a hard time playing against Blanca? Probably because Blanca is not the standard gameplay of Street Fighter 6 where everything is just a fucking rush in your face constantly. Right? If you look at the top tier gameplay of Street Fighter 6, it's either everyone's constantly rushing and trying to mix up in the corner, or keep away with Guile throwing sonic booms. Right? Or JP, kind of same thing. I try to mix up with keep away with my projectiles. Blanca's this unique gameplay style that plays nothing like any of that. So they can't handle it because it's like playing a different game. But that's the beauty of a game like Street Fighter 6 is the big variety of styles in the gameplay. Even though the top tier all plays the same, there's many other archetypes of characters that play differently that add to the variety that make it interesting. That's why I think this game is so much better than Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 within the first 2 months was the same game no matter who you played with. It sucked. It was boring. This game is not like that. Would I hold a snake if someone had a docile python? Yeah, I'm not afraid of animals. I would hold a snake. Thank you, Casanova. My day off yesterday was all right. Pickle Man, let's see. Pickle Man, what is your favorite kind of sushi? There's your question for today. No, I've never taken a dump in the shower. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Shrimp tempura sushi? Well, I mean, I guess that's a component of sushi that you like. Okay, fair enough. I thought you may have had like a specialty sushi you like or something. Mika, I have no idea what you're talking about. Mika says, why are emotes so huge? Everything's normal size to me. Are you guys seeing bigger emotes today? My emotes are the same size as always. What are you guys, where are you guys where you think that the emotes are huge? Where are you using emotes and they look big? Mobile updated and they're huge. Oh, of course I'm not on mobile. I'm on desktop. Everything looks normal on desktop today. Doesn't look like anything changed. Yeah, I don't know. What's my favorite kind of specialty sushi? Lately, I've become a fan of spicy tuna. Yes, and there's several different kinds. Like I said, our local sushi restaurant that we go to, they have several different specialty sushis with a spicy tuna. The reason I like it is because, like, when you eat it, at first you'll get all the other flavors. So let's say there's one that has some crab and maybe some shrimp, but then has like spicy tuna on top. So you put it in your mouth, and first thing you start tasting is this sweet crab, and you get, oh, a little savory shrimp. Then all of a sudden it's like delayed action. Boom, the spicy tuna kicks in, and you get this burn on the back end of the flavors in your mouth. So you're already chewing and tasting, and then all of a sudden halfway through your tasting, you get spiciness. I really like that. I like a timed flavor. I've never experienced anything like that before. And I started having it. I was like, oh my god, that's good. So that's what I like. Do I think they'll discover reverse aging or slowing down of aging within our lifetime? Maybe. It'll be too late for me. I'll be dead. But, you know, maybe for some of you guys. Right? I've done everything I possibly could to accelerate the aging process. I don't know if you guys noticed. Like, my face. Look at my face, right? It looks like my face has been marinated in, like, vinegar. Right? Like, swollen, bloated. It's disgusting. Like, skin falling off my face. Big chunks of, you know, fat and cellulite globular nonsense on my face. So I'm, you know, I've tried to make myself look like at least 20, 30 years older. Like I look like a 70-year-old, right? But you guys have a chance. Maybe you guys can extend your lives or something. I don't know. No, I do. Casanova says, but you don't have a single gray. I actually do. You just can't see them because, you know, you're watching in 1080p. Like, my beard is a ton of whites and grays, and that's why it looks like this. Oh, his beard is all shitty. No, this is a full beard. I'm serious. This is full hair. All around my mouth is all full hair. This is all white, gray, white, gray. So you know, it doesn't look good on the camera. But I do have whites and grays growing in my head. They're just not prominent enough yet. I would say give it another few years. You're going to start to see it a lot. Mm-hmm. Have I always been a fan of seafood? No. When I was young, I hated it. I thought it was gross. I thought, oh, shrimp, that's like a bug, right? That's disgusting. You know, squid or scallops, you know. Oh, it's rubbery, nasty. Who'd eat that, right? But now I love it. Oh my god, you guys are bombarding me with ridiculous questions now. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, all I will say is this. We're going to adjourn. Please give me all the feedback that I asked for, whether you respond to this podcast with it, whether you send me an email with it, whether you zeet at me. Keep zeeting. Keep zeeting in every direction. Cover everything with your zeets. Zeet. Zeet your responses, all right? But also, if you could support the content, thank you in advance. As you know, I make my living on the internet, and it is these live streams that the majority of my income comes from. Whether it's a super chat, a super sticker, a membership, a gifted membership, a tip today, anything would be appreciated. Right now, I've got like 2 super chats, if that, and no memberships and no tips. So anything today would be great. If you could do that for me, I'd really appreciate that. You know, we're going to do Street Fighter later tonight, but I don't want to hinge everything today on the Street Fighter late stream. So support if you can, and thanks in advance. All right, guys? Oh, speak of the devil, Toast Runner just did a super chat. It says, can we skip Final Fantasy 16 and switch? No. The thing is, if we never play Final Fantasy 16, we'll literally never finish it, and it will just be endlessly lingering. We have to finish it. You understand? The more we play Final Fantasy 16 now means that we can get it done with, and then we can focus on everything else over the month of August, which is what we want. No? Is that not what we want? So let's do it. Let's finish the game. Let's finish the dang thing. Let's get it over with. What was your name, by the way? Toast Runner. There you go. Toast Runner. You're running toast to the customers? Is that what you're doing? Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the show. I hope that you enjoyed today. Feedback appropriate, please. And I hope you enjoyed the first podcast of the week. Lots of variety this week with the special event coming up and everything. I'm excited. So I hope that you are too. And I'm very excited for tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll be like, hey guys, we did really good with Blanca. Watch me lose all night tonight now. Right? I'll install these new buttons and I'll play worse. That would be something, and it might happen. So anyway, let's see how it goes tonight. See you all tomorrow for the podcast for the Fallout. Peace out.